Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sale of Paper YouTube channel. My name is Sarah and I am the founder of this small stationery business. And today I wanted to give you a little life update and do a little Q&A with you. Alright guys, so it has been a few months since my last vlog. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that I took quite a long break because we have an exciting big change coming for our family. Yes, you guessed it, Alex and I are pregnant. I wasn't sure if this was a video that I wanted to make for YouTube, but I've been sharing quite openly about my fertility journey and my previous loss here on YouTube, so I thought it would be really nice to make a little life update video, especially since I'm not filming studio vlogs these days. I am about 16 weeks pregnant. It feels very weird to be filming this right now. Yeah, I'm pregnant. We are beyond thrilled about this pregnancy. We've been trying for about 2 years after a previous stillbirth that we had in 2020. We tried naturally for about a year and then we got on a wait list for a fertility clinic here in Toronto. And that process actually took a long time. I think it was a mix of COVID delays and our doctor was changing offices. And so it was a while before we got to actually get tested and start treatment. But I started my first treatment of letrozole. For those that don't know, letrozole is like a hormone therapy. So it's supposed to release more eggs and make your follicles like more juicy so that it can increase your chance of pregnancy. I basically went on one cycle of that and got pregnant, but I don't think it was the actual treatment that helped in my pregnancy. The reason my doctor and I both suspect this is because I was being monitored on letrozole and they didn't find that the letrozole did anything to my ovaries or my eggs. And so I went through a whole cycle. 40 days had passed, I wasn't pregnant, and I was waiting for my next cycle to begin. We were gonna increase the dose of letrozole. I got pregnant. Like I must have conceived on day 45 or something crazy late like that. And it was around day 50 when I found out that I was pregnant. And yeah, that was early January. I actually found out while I was filming my last studio vlog. Super excited. There are obviously a lot of fears and anxieties. I'm processing through a lot of that right now and not ready to share about that side yet. Every day has been a mental and emotional battle for me. First trimester was horrible for me. I was so nauseated. I actually didn't do any work for maybe around 2 months. Like I was barely posting on Instagram. I was trying to get some new products out, but it was a very slow burn for me. I'm very thankful that I'm self-employed because I don't know how you moms do it. I could not have imagined going through that first trimester with like a little kid running around the house. So kudos to you moms. Other than the anxiety, I think this pregnancy has been progressing quite smoothly. I have my next ultrasound coming up on Monday. And then we will also find out the sex of our baby later this month. So thank you so much for keeping us in your prayers. I hope to share more pregnancy updates with you as I am feeling a lot better in my second trimester. So I put out a Q&A on my Instagram and I got a lot of questions about fertility and my pregnancy. And so hopefully what I shared covers all of that. But I also want to take this time to answer a few other questions. I'm going to do a separate video on the business related questions, but today I'll tackle some of the personal questions that I got. I got a question about acupuncture and fertility. So other than the fertility clinic, we didn't actually do any other interventions. I did see a naturopath earlier on and she recommended some supplements and vitamins. I was taking zinc, vitamin D. I was taking chaste tree. This is something that I would ask my doctor or naturopath about before taking it because I know it can impact you if you are in fact pregnant. I was taking prenatals, vitamin C. There was a whole bunch of stuff. So I was trying to take the natural route and trying to prepare my body. I have heard good things about acupuncture. Can't speak on it because I did not do it. I just had enough of the poking and the needles, so I didn't want to go that route, but I might have explored it if I hadn't gotten pregnant. Another question I got was, what is your favorite way to rest these days? In my first trimester, like all I did was rest technically. Like I was lying on my bed or on my couch watching TV. I didn't leave the house. I didn't do any work. And so technically it was like my resting period, but I didn't find it restful at all. Like I was so sick. I was so miserable. I actually felt very joyless. And I think the reason I felt that way is because the ways that I typically do find rest and restoration, I couldn't do. Like, I couldn't go out for walks. I couldn't see my friends. I couldn't even do my quiet time. Like, it was so hard to sit and read, and even praying was really, really hard. And so my soul was actually very restless. These days, like in the past couple of weeks, I have been feeling a lot better and trying to get back into the routines. It has been very difficult. I am still very low energy, but I think some of my favorite ways to find rest these days is honestly sitting at my dining room table in the morning with my coffee and either reading my Bible or reading a Devo. I started reading a Devo because I found it hard to go right into scripture. I stopped doing my Bible reading plan because I felt like so many months behind. Another great way to rest is with people for me. I am an extrovert, so I love spending time with my family, with Alex, with some friends. I have been slowly starting to see friends, and this has been very restful for me. Other than that, I do sleep a lot, so I'm probably the most well slept I have been in my entire life. How will you pursue balance in this new season? I love this question because I would love to know the answer for myself. It's hard, like being self-employed in Canada, I don't qualify for maternity leave or EI, and even if I did pay into those benefits, I think it would actually harm my business since I wouldn't be able to make any income. And so I have decided to keep my shop open and running. There will be obviously slower processing times. Yeah, these are things I'm working through and thinking through. Like, I want to be realistic. I want to be there for my baby. And who knows like what kind of kid I'm going to have. Who knows what kind of pregnancy or birth experience I'm going to have. But without knowing these things, I would like to continue working as much as I can. Hopefully I can take like 3 weeks to 4 weeks off in the beginning, at least until I can physically be on my feet again. These days, I am just being super, super gracious with myself. I'm somebody that really values productivity. I find my worth in the things I accomplish and the things I can do and create. I think pregnancy has really challenged me to think of my worth differently. Like, even if I'm not doing anything, like even if I'm not praying or reading the Bible, like that doesn't change my relationship with God. That doesn't really change where I stand or my value. And so yes, tons of grace. I probably work like 3 hours a day on my laptop, and the rest of the time I'm just like slowly doing house things or just watching TV or resting. It's just one of those seasons. Like, I physically can't do much right now. I am waiting for that second trimester like surge of energy, but it really hasn't come for me yet. Please pray for me. Okay, I also got like tons of questions from Natasha. She's my Insta friend. I will link her stuff below because she also has a stationery business and her stuff is beautiful. She's also Canadian. But she asked me like 10 questions, and I'll just do like a lightning round through them. So, where were you born? I was born in Toronto, born and raised here. Currently, I actually live in Mississauga, which is a suburb like 30 minutes from Toronto. But yeah, I've been here all my life. How many siblings do you have? I have 2 siblings. I have a younger sister and a younger brother. I think people get confused because I call a lot of friends sisters. No, they're just my sisters in Christ. We're just very close. Other than designing, what do you like to do? So maybe this doesn't reflect like this current season of life, but normally I love being out. I love hiking, going for walks. Alex and I used to climb a lot, and I completely stopped. I like watching TV. I have like completely exhausted my Netflix watch list, so I am looking for some new shows. I got a Kindle for my birthday this year as well, so I've been reading a lot of classics and I've been really enjoying it. I know Emma and Jane Eyre, like they're on Netflix, and I've just been waiting to finish reading them before watching them. I also do like to cook. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a great cook or a great baker, but it's something that I think is like a very useful skill. Doesn't hurt getting better at it. I do spend a lot of time in the kitchen cooking for me and Alex. Someone asked, what are some tips for creating spiritual rhythms in your life? Honestly, like, spiritual rhythms are disciplines just like any other habit. One of my favorite books is Habits of Grace by David Mathis, I believe. It's such a great book. It breaks down some of the typical spiritual disciplines like journaling, meditating, things like fasting. It really is like any other habit in your life. You have to build it into your routines, your schedules. You have to be disciplined about it. I read Atomic Habits a few years ago, and I found that was like a really great and practical book. One of the tips that stuck with me is associating the habit that you want with the habit that you already have. So for example, I have to drink my coffee every morning. Like I will never forget to drink my coffee. And so I've paired my Bible reading with my coffee drinking. So now they're just like associated together. And the reason I had such a hard time reading my Bible actually in first trimester was because I wasn't having coffee at all. Like I had completely lost that morning routine. So it was really hard for me to just like sit and read my Bible without my coffee. I know that's pretty sad, but yeah, it really has become a daily habit in my life because of the way I've tried to structure my day. Another question, what does faith look like to you at the moment? Again, I am learning to be really gracious with myself because I know God is really gracious with me too. I was really disappointed that I couldn't keep up a lot of my spiritual rhythms. I couldn't even go to church for a month or so after lockdown. And so I was feeling so out of it, and I felt like I was so far from God because I wasn't doing these things. But it's been really freeing to remind myself that God doesn't need these rituals. He doesn't need these things from me. He just wants me, and I should just want him as well. And so I've been trying to incorporate more prayer into my life, like not formal times of prayer where I'm like in a closet or like sitting down in front of my Bible, but just talking to God. And because I've had so much anxiety and fear, I have had to talk to God like every hour of my day, just to even say like, oh my God, please God, like be with me right now. I'm also learning a lot about the compassion of God. That's something I'll share more on later because I'm still processing it and there's a lot there. Okay, and last question, where are you traveling to next? I have no idea. I have no plans. Alex and I talked about doing a little baby moon to Montreal or Quebec, but even that, like, I don't want to plan anything right now. I just feel very lazy. I have no desire to go out and like do stuff. I don't know. I feel like Alex and I have really, really enjoyed our marriage without kids so far. We've been married 5 years. We've traveled to a bunch of countries, done a lot of road trips. We basically do whatever we want. And so I don't feel like we need to squeeze in a last trip or anything, but we will definitely make the most of our last summer as a family of 2. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I really did not have the energy to do a studio vlog, but I did want to share this news with you. And I'm glad I incorporated like a small little Q&A. Thank you for all your questions. There are a lot more business related questions that I got, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. But yeah, thank you for journeying with us in our fertility journey, in our grief journey. I feel very vulnerable sharing my pregnancy news. I literally worry every day that this pregnancy, that I won't be able to see it to full term. And you know, the last time I announced my pregnancy, I actually lost the baby only a few days after. I have a lot of fears around that, but I regret not documenting more of my pregnancy last time, and I just want to be real with you. Like, this is just part of my life journey, my small business journey, my spiritual journey. I'm learning tons, and I really do love sharing life with you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping us in your prayers. We hope that you can continue to keep our family in your prayers. I will see you guys very soon, and I hope you guys have a wonderful April. Bye.